Hello, welcome to Market Avenue. Government has announced its policy measures to ensure that revenue is bolstered and expenditure is slashed to the barest minimum level to ensure that the fiscal target of 7.4% set in the 2022 budget is achieved. So, the government says if you're a government appointee, you've been given free coupons, petrol coupons, you're not going to get. Let's say you're getting 100 Ghana cedis. This time it's going to be 50 Ghana cedis. On the ex-pump side too, you're going to get 15 pesos in terms of fuel reduction out there. And then those who are importing vehicles in terms of the MMDAs is also going to be stopped for a while. There is a moratorium on that. So these are many measures that have been rolled out by the government, but we're going to talk to Paul Appiah and Dr. George Donfa, an economist, to find out more from them whether these measures that have been rolled out by the government are enough to ensure that we are able to consolidate our fiscal position as a country. Let's speak the base language for today. So welcome back. Esther Edu standing by to walk us through the performance of the equity market for today. Esther, you're welcome.
Thank you, Edward. Well, as you said, the Finance Ministry mentioned some fiscal measures that they'll be taking to ensure that the economy gets back on track. And in the developed world, you would find that the stock market would have been reacting to this news. But it seems that in Ghana, we are quite isolated from news concerning the fiscal policies. And for today, the composite index went down by 0.51 points, and also the financial stocks went down by 0.92 points due to activities of GCB. The year-to-date change, which is the return on investment, is now negative 1.69%. And if you invested on the financial market, the stocks, that will be a return of 1.01%. That is rather in the positives. For volume and value, in terms of volume, this is one volume that we've not had in a while, 68 million.
Wow, that's
yes,
massive.
I don't know whether that is a reaction to the news, but we had 68,656,297, and they were valued at 72,929,555 Ghana cedis. The market cap has gone down by some 500 million cedis and is now 64 billion, 21 million. Yes.
Okay.
In terms of trading results, GCB was the equity that registered a price change, and it lost. It lost 2 pesos. It started trading at 5 cedi 18 pesos, and it ended the day at 5 cedi 16 pesos. Equities that exchange hands for today.
Car Bank did
810,972. We have BOP at 1,251 shares. EGH 35,322.
MTN 67,000.
Yeah, MTN 67,774. I think the equity that traded the most. We have
Republic Bank.
Yeah, 13,860. We have GCB 20,189. The equity that lost today, and we have I think that's about it for today. So, Edward, that's how the stock market performed.
Thank you very much, Esther Edu, for this latest update from the Ghana Stock Exchange. We go for a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Paul Appiah, based in Italy, an economist, to find out more from him as to how these measures are going to bolster growth and at the same time ensure that we're able to tame the inflationary pressures. Hi, a raft of measures have been released or introduced by the government to make sure that we are able to sustain our debts. Paul Apiakredi, you're welcome. Hello? Paul? Paul, can you hear me? Okay, I think, Paul, we've had difficulty getting now with get in touch with Paul. Dr. George Domfe, economist at the University of Ghana, is also on the line. Doc, you're welcome. Hello? Hello, Doc. All right, we'll go for a break. When we come back, we'll hook up with Dr. George Domfe and then Paul Apiakredi. Hello, welcome back. Dr. George Domfe is on the line. Doc, you're welcome.
Thank you, my brother.
Great. Now, Doc, the finance minister hinted that $2 billion facility will be secured to make sure that the pressure on the CD is reduced considerably. Is it not also going to put pressure on our debt stock?
Yeah, thank you very much, my brother. And let me thank you for the opportunity. Yeah, so you see the CD, the fall, the decline in value, I think we have never witnessed anything like this in the past few years. We all agree that CD has been performing very well, at least for the past 5 years. But if you look at the last 3 weeks, I should say, the CD has continuously lost value and I mean, very, very, very significantly. And so you can see that it's bringing pressure on the living conditions of Ghanaians. We all know most of the things that we eat are imported. And when we go out there to buy, we go with dollars. The fuel that currently the global market price has gone up. We buy fuel, the finished products, every day from the global market with dollars. And so anytime CD declines in value, it affects prices of imported goods, and for that matter, the living condition of the general public. But the question is, how did we come to where we are? Many countries are struggling. United States of America has also been struggling. And so at the beginning of the year, they decided to increase their discount rate. And when they did that, capital has been moving to US. And because of that, it has significantly affected the inflow of dollar or foreign currency into Ghana. And so that is partly the reason why CD is suffering. Again, what is more, we haven't been able to raise Eurobonds as we've been doing for the past few years. And that has also affected the gross international reserves. So the Bank of Ghana does not have the capacity to produce more CDs or supply more CDs to the market. And that is also one reason. Again, traditionally, at the beginning of every year, that is the first 3 months, we always see repatriation of profit. That is when the multinational companies, including Vodafone, MTN, and the rest, that's when they repatriate back home the profit. And when they do, they send dollars. They don't send the cedis. That traditionally has been affecting the value of the cedi. And again, our sisters and brothers who also go to other countries to come to buy and sell, they use dollars. And so these are all the factors. But I must say that this year has been very different from the rest of the years because of the increase in the capital in America. And my brother, as soon as the decline set in, it also promoted what we call speculative motive for demand for dollar. There are some Ghanaians who don't need dollar to do anything, any of the aforementioned things that I'm describing, are also going to the market to buy just to keep the money, so that in a situation where the value of the cedi declines further, they will sell and make more profit. And so that is for speculation. And so for speculative reasons, people are in the market to buy the dollars just to keep them, either to protect their businesses because they deal more with foreign currencies, or just to sell in future to make more money. Now, Bank of Ghana has decided to look for $2 billion and supply immediately. Once they are able to supply, dollar will definitely go down. The value of the dollar will go down. Cedi will appreciate. And once Cedi begins to appreciate, it is going to kill the speculative motive for demand for dollar. People who otherwise would have gone to the market to buy dollar just so they will keep it and sell in future to make profit will be discouraged to do so, and that is going to help to as it were, stabilize the value of the cedi. And so this money that is coming is going to discourage speculative motive for demand for the dollar. And once it works, I'm sure now that we are about stepping out of the first quarter, the repatriation of profits would have also ended, and the inflows of the capital, that one we can't do anything about it. It will continue. It will go on. U.S. has increased interest rates, and that is attracting the inflows of capital from all over the world to U.S. That one we cannot control it. But what we can control is the speculative demand for dollar, and again, the repatriation of the profit, whose era is about being ended. And so with the $2 billion, I can assure you that in the next month or two, we're going to see cedi appreciating against the dollar to ease the pressure now on Ghanaians, including myself as a poor lecturer from the University of Ghana.
All right, but Doc, won't this also put pressure on our debt stock? The $2 billion we are bringing in.
Yeah, definitely. But you see, our total debt stock is already hitting for 400 billion. The last time I checked, it was 742 billion Ghana cedis, and that is a lot. Bringing in 2 billion is about adding about 16 billion Ghana cedis. I'm sure it's going to save the problem. Some of these things, you wouldn't want to do it with pleasure. But if you also don't do it, it's going to worsen the situation we find ourselves. And as a government, you have responsibility to protect the livelihood of the people. You don't want the situation to get to where it will be so difficult to address it. Once it has just started, if you are able to address it, I'm sure it is better than allowing it to gain root. Once it gains root, it becomes very difficult to address it. And so even though it's going to definitely increase our debt stock, it is a step in the right direction. It's going to ease the rate at which prices of goods are going up, and especially the imported products.
All right. Now, Doc, talking about easing pressure on the cedi, the finance minister also hinted that the retention of profits by mining companies, the rules of the game are going to be enforced this time around. Why haven't we been able to do this all this while till now?
My brother, that has been a problem. I've always been talking about this. You know, the repatriation of profit every first quarter of the year, it declines sharply in value because of that. And so that is why they came with the policy on local content. What does that mean? So Kylo started producing oil in Ghana September 2010, you know, and so when we say local content, it means that we want to encourage Ghanaians to own part of the stake of Tidal, so that in future it wouldn't be for Tidal, but it's going to be, the ownership is going to be Ghanaians. Again, MTN has been operating here for so many years. Let us encourage Ghanaians to also enter into that sector, so that it wouldn't always be Vodafone and MTN, but also Ghanaians. When Ghanaians begin to own stake in some of these, activities, what's going to happen is that the repatriation of the profit will decline. During every first quarter of the year, only few multinational companies would have to repatriate profit. The local companies will keep their money here in city. And that will ease the pressure that otherwise would have been mounted on the city. And so we've been talking about this, and there are clear rules of the game protecting the local content. But my brother, it's not working. Ghanaians, I don't understand it. When we see the fight, it appears we have seen God. In fact, in my own account, communities, if you give birth to a child who is so handsome, they will say, hey, you are as handsome as the wife. I'm not saying we shouldn't respect them, but we should also respect ourselves. And so when the wives are here, we want to encourage more of them to come to invest in our economy. And, they obey rules. In their country, they have the local content. So we have to also protect our local content. Unfortunately, when they come here, Ghanaians will work with them to make sure they ignore the local content, policy. And so they are not about the citizens. They wouldn't do that, but Ghanaians will encourage them to take everything away. Now, the detriment of the economy for the peanut that they will receive. And so, all that, I will blame the government for not doing enough, to ensure a smooth implementation of the local content bill. Let's see if it's going to work at the mining sector, and let's see how it will work at the oil sector and also the communication sector, so that in future the repatriation of the profit wouldn't be as massive as it is today, my brother.
Finally, Doc, we heard the finance minister saying that we're going to ensure that vehicle importation from this time to the end of the year, they are stopped, and then also salaries of government appointees slashed by 30%. The Council of States indicates that they're going to slash their allowance by 20%. How are all these raft of measures going to help bring down the deficit to the targeted 7.4% by close of the year 2022?
Yeah, so my brother, I would say that little drops of water will make a mighty ocean. And so even though not so significant, the cash, I'm sure here and there, cash here and there, is going to help. I hear they have placed complete moratorium on importation of our vehicles. And so what it means is that for the whole of the year, government is not going to import new vehicles for any appointee. And I think that is a step in the right direction. Again, there's also placed a moratorium on foreign travels, apart from the statutory travels. That is also very beautiful. What is more, they are also going to cut 10% of the discretionary expenditure. When we talk about discretionary expenditure, anytime government spends money, it is divided into two baskets. One basket is called statutory expenditure. Another one is discretionary expenditure. And at the beginning of the year, government made it clear to us that they were going to spend 137 billion. And so part of that amount is going to be statutory. When we say statutory, those are the expenditures that are backed by the law. For example, the law demands that 5% of the total revenue should be set aside for district assembly common fund. Those are statutory. We have guest fund and all those monies. And so for those monies that are backed by the law, government is going to pay them. Government is not going to do anything to them. but the discretionary, those payments that will come from the discretion of the president and the cabinet, they say they are going to cut it by 10%. What it means is that the roads they said they were going to construct, the hospitals they said they were going to build and all that, they may not be able to do so. And rather so, they have indicated that they are going to prioritize the ongoing projects and maybe abandon the project that the new projects that are coming on board. And I can tell you that is also a step in the right direction. And so all these things, if they will be bold enough to implement them, I can assure you that it's going to help so that at the end of the year, the fiscal deficit will be around 7%. I think they mentioned 7.4, and not what we witnessed last year, my brother.
Overall, Doc, we also heard that the tertiary institutions are going to be weaned off, and then from government, system eventually. Is that a right move?
My brother, I didn't hear the last question.
There was a statement about the tertiary institutions.
Yeah, I heard it. That the public, tertiary institutions,
yes,
we are going to be weighing off our salary. The public schools, yes, like Legon, UCC, the polytechnics and training college.
Yes.
Government is going to weigh off our salaries from the public wage bill. Yes, I heard about it. My brother, I think I have a little bit of problem with that kind of measures.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not too sure the research that has gone into that. I want to caution government to be very careful, and they have to tread cautiously. Because, once you do that, I hear they will pay some lump sum every year to the public institutions to take care of their wage bills. And that's what it means is that the public institutions are going to work this time to raise revenue to pay their workers. And when that happens, when the burden of salary payment falls on them, they are going to increase fees exorbitantly. And if they do so, beyond the reach of the poor, education at the tertiary level will gradually become the preserve of the rich. And that, I don't think I will support it any day, not now, not tomorrow. And so before government takes that decision, I want to urge them to tread cautiously, do research, and see whether it is possible that if they do so, that the tertiary institution, the public tertiary institutions, wouldn't increase fees beyond the reach of the poor. Because, we've all been talking about inclusive development, and that means that the son of the poor, the daughter of the poor should get access to education up to the tertiary level so that they also become competitive. But if it happens that because of the cost of tertiary education, only the rich can go, it will not help Ghana's development today and not tomorrow. And so I would like to throw a word of caution to government to tread cautiously on this particular move.
Now, Doc, what about the issue of ensuring that government appointees that get 50% coupon, for instance, and then 50% reduction, 15 pesos reduction at the the fuel stations. Would this make any significant impact on the pricing when I go to the fuel pump to buy fuel?
Yeah, so as I said, if, for example, government used to buy a coupon, 1,000 cedis to government appointees, that person is going to now receive 500 a month. And to me, it's not going to add so much, but what it does is that it will be sending a good signal to tell you and all the others like myself who are also struggling that government officials are also part of the struggling. It will show leadership. And so to me, that's a very good decision government has made so that you and I will know that it's not only those of us on the street who are suffering, but they've also taken the burden, part of the burden. For example, the 30% cut in salary. All these things are meant to show leadership. Otherwise, even if they forfeit all their salaries, I can assure you that it wouldn't be that much. especially when we are going to spend around 137 billion. And if they all say we are not going to collect a penny from today, I can assure you that wouldn't be so much. But then it shows leadership. And so let me commend them for such a fantastic move. They've done about significantly. What I want to say and commend them so much is the 1.5 billion that Ghana is likely to benefit from the renegotiations on the PPI. You know, I'm talking about the energy. You know, we are told that the independent power producers, that is an RPP, sorry, independent power producers. You know, during the time we had Dumso, you know, the power outages, we negotiated with quite a number of them, and the negotiation was take or pay, to suggest that even when we don't need them, we will still continuously pay them. And since we went into those arrangements with them, and we have so much power and we don't need them, we are still paying them. We pay them so much at the end of every year. We pay them so much, you know, and so government says they have already negotiated some deals with them, and that has, in a way, cut what otherwise would have gone to them, and that they are going to continue with the negotiations, such that at the end of the year, we're going to rake in 1.5 billion. I should commend the finance ministry for that step in the right direction. They have to push it and get to the bottom, because I'm wondering why we will have to go and negotiate with someone. For example, if you needed Uber, you went to buy Uber because you needed Uber, you don't have car, and then the Uber takes you home, and then you tell the Uber driver that I will need your services next week, but I'm going to continuously pay you. That's practice.
Hello, Doc. I think this is how we're going to wrap up. Our time is on our side, but the conversation continues tomorrow. This is how we wrap up today on Market Time. My name is Edward Nyakun. God willing, we'll come your way again. Shalom.